And now some of you might recall that Keeper Security is the team that was here with us maybe a couple months ago now. Boy, that's flown by. And they challenged myself and one of their speakers to the Bean Boozled game, which is eating horrible jelly bellies like dish soap and dead fish while discussing some cybersecurity. It was great. We had a great time. It was awful. I still have PTSD. I've not eaten a jelly belly since. And they have a new challenge for me today. So I'm going to go get ready for that, but I'm going to leave you here and I'll join you back shortly. We're going to be chatting with Jonathan Padilla, Solution and Sales Engineer at Keeper Security. Jonathan is clearly absolutely crazy, but amazing, and here with us to chat through some really cool things from Keeper Security.
Thanks, Justin. We're so excited to be here today with MegaCast. And without further ado, my name is Jonathan Padilla, a Solutions and Sales Engineer here with Keeper Security. And today, we're going to be talking about empowering and protecting remote workers. But first, Jess, let's talk about this spiced out Q&A. What's going on with that?
Jonathan, I have to say, your team has now asked me to play some hockey. We've eaten some terrible jelly bellies. This is the first time I've been a little scared coming into a chat with you. But we are you're going to go through, you're going to give us some information, you're going to tell us some really cool stuff. When we get to the end of your presentation, we're going to do some Q&A with the audience, as we always do. But here's the twist. While we are going through your questions, we are going to be eating some progressively hotter hot sauces on some chips. So we're going to be going through an extreme gauntlet of spice in order to get you the most interesting information possible, along with a little bit of entertainment. So that's what's coming for you as soon as we wrap.
That is awesome. I can't say I'm excited about this opportunity, but I am excited to warm things up.
Ooh,
that said, let's get started. All right. So, Pam, before we continue with Pam, I want to just clarify something. There's no such thing as like this Pam software. But I'm going to say it this way, Pam solution. We're used to hearing that. Pam solution. What is a Pam solution? What's Pam anyway? I'm going to read this verbatim because it's highly important we read this verbatim to understand what is Pam anyway and articulating what exactly it comprises of. So this is it. Pam refers to a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy comprising of people, right, processes, technology to do what? To control, monitor, and secure, audit all human and non-human privilege identities and activities across an entire enterprise environment. Yes, human and non-human. What do you mean non-human, Jonathan? Well, machines, codes, scripts, CI/CD command pipelines, anything automated. IoT devices, for example, IoT cities. Very important, especially IoT city. So PAM, that's what it consists of. So now let's understand that. Understand PAM solution or PAM platform and what it does. Let's move on. All right, so internal and external challenges of organizations currently. Okay, let's go through some of these real quick. And I'm sure many of you are encountering some of these things yourself. Infrastructure consists of both human and machines, as we articulated before. Right? But look at this second point here. The traditional IT perimeter has vaporized. Well, what are you talking about, Jonathan? Well, the traditional IT perimeter, on-prem, inside of your environment, edge firewalls and switches and all sorts of stuff, networks, machines. And so you had a traditional IT perimeter in that on-prem environment, whether it had to do with security, infrastructure, or machines, all right? So, or even humans. All right, look at this. So now what happened? Well, during COVID, we had a big exit strategy, right? Big exit strategy. Wait, did everybody have an exit strategy? No, they didn't. That's the problem. COVID hit so hard, people started working remotely from home. They had a great on-prem traditional IT perimeter and security, but now they're working from home, and the vulnerability and the attack surface has increased dramatically and tremendously from working from home. I mean, I know I was scared when Keeper said, hey, we're working from home now. I'm like, oh man, there's a lot of people who are working from home that don't know how to work from home securely. Oh my God, their networks, their machines, there's a lot going on there. I'm sure a lot of you felt this pain. So traditional cybersecurity solutions are heterogeneous. Let's talk about that real quick as well. A heterogeneous, not homogeneous. Right, so what's heterogeneous mean? It means that your cybersecurity solutions, you are paying into multiple pieces of software or solutions to cover your what? Your cybersecurity strategy, right? Your PAM strategy. But what happens with heterogeneous environments, right? Heterogeneous environments, they dramatically increase your operating risks. What do you mean, Jonathan? Well, you have disparate pieces of software, right? Individualized pieces of software. They're not homogeneous. They don't work together at all. And now all of a sudden, you have to worry about vulnerabilities to this piece of software, that solution, that platform. And they're go and manage it, maintain it, and patches, and that's a lot of work. And that increases the operating risk. Let's look at this last one, right? What happens with heterogeneous solutions and applications? Purchasing, deploying, and managing disparate software is cost prohibitive. All right, it costs a lot of money to pay for that software and that piece of software to cover that, and that piece of software to cover that. All this disparate software. Now I've got to deploy it. Now I've got to manage it. Now I have to maintain that. That is time is money, and you need. It's like you need a dedicated employee for that sometimes. Security is a serious thing. So let's go on to this next slide here, and keep on expanding on this. So key problems with traditional PAM solutions, or privileged access management solutions. As we already discovered in that previous slide, all of a sudden this disparate software is cost prohibitive, costing you a lot of money to cover those strategies. It's difficult to provision, but why? How is something difficult to provision, Jonathan? Well, let's think about this. Whether you have 50 users or 18,000 users. I've dealt with companies on a broad spectrum of how many employees they've had. You need to be able to provision this platform solution to your end users easily. So integrating with your identity providers such as Microsoft Azure, Okta, OneLog, and all those identities is important, so you can do what? Automatic provisioning of your users that will be utilizing such a platform, such solution in your environment. Opaque. Let me not skip this one. Apologies, everybody. Difficult to use. This is a really important one. Difficult to use. I experienced this myself, and this is why for many years, myself doing IT for 28 years now, I was like, I never got into that kind of like secrets management, PAM space. And why? Because I always looked at it, I'm like, man, those guys are smart, high level, working on code and that command line. It was just, for me, it was difficult. I didn't know how to use that. I'm like, forget it. I can't use this. It just, even with just credentials, just passwords, I'm like, I can't use this thing. It's too hard. So I'm like, I'll just keep on doing my processes, which causes vulnerabilities. In my early days, I didn't know that. In my early days, I didn't know any of this stuff. I wasn't able to use it, so hard to use that I just didn't. That causes vulnerabilities. Opaque visibility. What do you mean by that? Well, I need to understand who's using what. Who's using a machine, who's using a privileged account or a privileged username and password, or what code or script or machine is using our information that's privileged as well to run automations. I need visibility into that, and many PAM platforms don't provide that visibility. It's kind of hard to track that information, so all of a sudden you're paying into another piece of software. Again, disparate, heterogeneous, not homogeneous. Inadequate security. What do you mean by that, Jonathan? Oh, this goes across the board. It's a broad spectrum, starting from outside of your network, coming into your network, what your network topology is like in security, down to your users and devices, and the software and solutions that you're utilizing are inadequate security. What do you mean by that? Well, across the spectrum with the software aspect of it, softwares could cause vulnerability, maybe because how they store data. They store data in clear text instead of an encrypted format right there on your device. Let me say that again. Doesn't it sound nice when you're accessing information locally on your device and it's encrypted and you're accessing it securely? That covers inadequate security on a device and human level. That's important. I said that for a reason. Let's continue. Let's look at this now. This is something I was faced with. I was a IT director at an institution. And this is what I was faced with our PAM solution. I'm like, man, And as I said it before, I wish this was easy to use. 84% of them. We're talking about the people that are using PAM. I'm not alone. I was a sucker this whole time. I thought they were awesome, just slamming at it, doing their job. No, they have difficulties as well. It's not simple to use. And this is what they want. They want simplicity. They want cost efficiencies, right? 68% pay for wasted features. That's not cost efficient. It's not cost efficient. You're paying for something you're not utilizing. And last but not least, 85% require a dedicated staff member to manage and maintain that. Right? I don't have time for that. As an IT director, I don't have time to manage and maintain that. My help desk didn't have time to manage and maintain that. That was literally a full-time job with the PAM platform we were utilizing. And then I started questioning, okay, this PAM platform costs me this much. I'm paying this user this much equals this much. I was like, man, for this much money, I could be getting a way cool piece of software handling these strategies. Let's continue. Let's continue. Here we are. So Keeper is here to disrupt the market, disrupt the disingenuous approach to PAM, to their cybersecurity strategies. Right, so let's look at that. So Keeper Cybersecurity PAM platform, it does enable organizations to achieve full visibility, not opaque visibility, security and controls, reportings across your entire environment, whether it's a user or a device or a script or a code, across your entire organization. Keeper makes it cost effective. I'm sure you guys have questions like, well, how? We'll get into some of that. Fast provisioning. Well, I could easily explain that one. Keeper integrates with any identity provider through System for Cross-Domain Identity Management, SCIM provisioning, allowing you to automatically provision anywhere from 5 users to 18,000 users easily and expediently without much manual work. Wouldn't it suck to manually add 18,000 users? I can't imagine. My finger would be stuck forever. It's something that's easy to use. And when I think easy to use, and naturally, just my natural sense says something easy to use has a GUI interface. It has a GUI interface. That's easy to use for me because I understand. I can point, click, I can see things. I'm more of a visual person. Pervasive visibility. Pervasive visibility is important. So you have full visibility across your entire organization of what's going on. What's going on, whether it's basic credential usage to log into a website or application, or a high-level script and code doing a function on a system, or whatever you're doing. Visibility into that. Active visibility, understanding maybe at that moment by getting an email or an SMS message, or my favorite is a webhook, like I don't know, like Microsoft Teams or Slack or something like that. Pervasive visibility, expedient, immediate. I could take action with pervasive visibility. Last but not least, world-class visibility. Keeper's encryption model is quite amazing. We encrypt information within the vault level. In the vault, your information is encrypted. Unlike traditional PAM platforms, which only encrypt and decrypt at that vault level, right? Like just you unlock the door to your house, you walked in, and normally all the doors in your house, to the bathroom and bedrooms and everything are just, there's no locks with them. They're just, you walk right in, great. Well, no. In the Keeper house, you better have a key to every single room, house, drawer, silverware drawer you're going to open up, pots and pans. You better have a key to all of that, individual key to all of that to get access to it. Not this one master key to open, everything up. So that's important. Holding and storing information in a secure format and accessing it securely. Let's continue. So let's look at Keeper's PAM solution. Right? Comprising of people and processes and technology. So our PAM solution puts all pieces of our technology together to cover your strategy. Or maybe your strategy is just basic password management. Where we see 3 pieces of software here. That is considered PAM, depending on your approach. What is your cybersecurity, or what is your PAM strategy in your organization? What are you trying to cover? Again, remember, you're paying into software and some of the features you don't need. Well, the same goes for our platform. What do you need with Keeper? What do you need to cover your strategies? Is it basic password management? Well, we have that. We have that up here. Right? We have that right there in Keeper Enterprise Password Manager. It enables your organizations to manage, maintain, protect, secure, share securely, and have visibility and controls over those credentials that are getting utilized across applications, systems, whatever you're utilizing. And if that's your strategy, then fantastic. Guess what? Boom. That's all you need. Let's rock and roll. But this may have to run deeper. The information you're utilizing, some of those usernames and passwords you're storing have nothing to do with applications and websites. They have to do with maybe accessing machines, SQL servers, Kubernetes clusters, or VNCing, RDPing, SSHing into systems you got to manage and maintain. And here's the thing that drives me nuts. We have to do that securely because providing someone the credential directly leads to too many vulnerabilities. Well, and I do want to jump down right here to Keeper Connections Manager. We'll get into secrets management in just a moment. I'm doing it this way for a reason. Connection management provides you an easy, seamless, agentless, a single point of access to secure access to gain secure access and connectivity. So I'll say it this way without reading verbatim, to your infrastructure, your internal resources in your environment, regardless if it's an application, system. It provides secure access to your organization's infrastructure, any aspect of it, whether you're accessing a system or a cluster or an SQL database. Providing secure access, not being able to see the credentials or having to type them out or copy and paste them. Just being able to say, I need to connect to this system. My admin allows me to, and now I'm connected. Now that needs to be done securely. So I love Keeper Secrets Manager. What is Keeper Secrets Manager? It's the practice of obscurity. I like obscuring information. So it doesn't matter if it's an RDP connection that's requesting the credentials to that server in secret from the vault, or some of your scripts and code. Maybe you have a Docker container, a Docker file, and you don't want to expose usernames or passwords or directories within those files, and you want to keep them secret. So you can utilize Keeper Secrets Manager to deliver that information securely to any, for example, CI/CD command pipelines, Ansible, Jenkins, GitHub Actions, etc., etc. I know you secrets manager people out there are like, yes, that's what we're looking for. That's what I want. And it needs to be easier. And so all of that stated, if all three of these platforms comprise of your PAM strategy, then here's the cool part. It's not heterogeneous. It's homogeneous. It all works together. All one platform. This is now cost, this now remove that cost prohibitive part, and now this is cost effective. One platform, one piece of software that you need to pay into, that's easy to use, easily manageable and maintainable, because we're already handling that on the Keeper side. We're already handling that with our SaaS-based platform. Well, let's look at this though. So Keeper PAM addresses some key points, so requirements for some organizations. So now let's talk about what is PAM again. Well, let's look at it. Here's some of the needs in an organization. And these needs is what comprise of their PAM strategy. Password management, password sharing, password rotations against system accounts, service accounts, SQL accounts, Azure accounts, Amazon accounts. Yeah, Keeper can do a lot of stuff. Secrets management for the DevOps team, privilege session management. I mean, I can list these through and through. You guys see that the need is there. Many of you can understand and relate to this. And I'm happy and excited to let you know that Keeper can cover those strategies. Well, now that I've got things heated up here with everybody, let's find out what's going on with this spiced out Q&A. Jess?
Jonathan, I can't say I'm happy to be back here with you, but we're here. We're going to do some Q&A. And while we do this Q&A, I'm going to ask you, I think we're going to have time for about 4 questions. We're going to do 4 peppers. So we're going to do a Chipotle, then a Cayenne, then a whiskey habanero. Oh man, guys, we're bringing it home with a ghost pepper. I'm so scared. Okay.
All right.
Jonathan.
Yes, that is a scary one.
That's scary. We're starting with the Chipotle pepper. So Chipotle pepper it up. And Jonathan and I talked about this. We agreed that if we're going to do this, we're going to not wuss out. We're putting a decent amount. Oh, that's too much. I did too much, guys.
All right, well, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it.
I have instant regret. Yeah. Okay, Jonathan.
There's a lot there. So we eat this first and we start the Q&A?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate it. Oh, it's so bad.
That's a little hot.
Jonathan, Is the keeper skim REST endpoint also used to manage provision users who would use the PAM functionality? Or is there additional API that allows REST-based management of additional user abilities?
Whew.
So,
That's a very good question and a deep one, especially when my mouth is already burning. So here's a cool thing. Keeper skim. I'm going to say it this way. Keeper can integrate with any identity provider when it comes to skim provisioning. Again, if you go into your IDP, whether it's Microsoft Azure, Office 365, Okta, et cetera, and you go look for it to add an application, whew, my mouth is going.
yeah.
Add an application, you'll find Keeper there. When you add it and you look in there, you'll see that we have a section there ready to facilitate and support skim provisioning quickly and easily. It takes literally about 5 minutes to set skim up. And if you're utilizing the UI and GUI base to set it all up and get skim interconnected, it's a very easy, straightforward process that we have documented. Now, I will state a lot of platforms don't have, say for like Shibboleth, for example. A lot of platforms don't have like this integrated application that already has this built out and whatever. It's like you have to program it. So I'm happy to tell you that Keeper does have API skim you can call against to provision your users and program against it if you would like. And it would provision those users onto the Keeper platform, which will provide and allow them to utilize secrets management at that point.
Jonathan, that was a very impressive answer, knowing how high that last spice was or sauce was. And now we're going to see if you can replicate it, because we're kicking things up a notch to our whiskey habanero. I have to tell you all out there, I am not a spicy person. I'm a mild person. This is just not in my wheelhouse. Oh God, right. I did so much again. Why? Okay. Why did I do that?
I'll hang with you on that aspect. Now this is a lot. Oh, it's so much. It's spilling on my desk, but it's okay. Mm-hmm. I even got on my pants. Oh my God. That one's a little hotter.
A little hotter. Jonathan, where exactly are the post format scripts executed?
That's a very good. That's a very, very, very good question. And those scripts are either run on the gateway itself that's communicating with, well, make a long story short, this gateway is what communicates with secrets inside of the vault. And if you attach a script to one of the records or one of the secrets that it's going to get utilized, that script either runs on the gateway directly within your environment where you installed the gateway, either Windows or Linux, or it's going to get utilized to do a remote call to a system within that environment that the gateway has access to do a script. For example, over WinRM, for example, to run that script. So that's where they would be run, those postscripts.
Okay, great. I was hoping you'd answer a little longer so that we could wait, but guys, it is time for the cayenne. Ooh. You know, the nice thing about this, though, is that my tongue is actually getting more and more numb as we go. I'm trying to pick a smaller chip so it makes the hot sauce look like there's more of it.
Now, I've heard that, eating hot sauce is supposed to be somewhat euphoric and an endorphin rush, but I don't think I've ever pushed myself to the limit to experience that. And I'm right with you. It's like, wow, this is like a completely different experience, yet hot. And I'm trying to maintain. I think I'm going to break a sweat after this one.
Okay. Cayenne. Does the on-prem gateway run on Windows or Linux? Go.
Oh, man. I think I totally accidentally answered that. The gateway can run on Windows or Linux. It doesn't matter if it's physical. It doesn't matter if it's virtual. Wow, this is hot. This one's getting hotter as I talk.
Yep.
One second, guys.
It's getting worse.
Physical, virtual. I'm about to cry here. I'm sweating already. For the physical, virtual, on-prem, or in the cloud, it doesn't really matter. You can run it on Windows or Linux. Physical, virtual, on-prem, or in the cloud. That's hot.
Jonathan, I almost touched my eyes.
Oh no! Oh no! Do you need to go rinse your eyeballs out?
I stopped myself. Everyone in the audience was screaming at me. I could hear it. Okay, we are running out of time, but we are going to fit this last one in because I know that your team is not going to let us skip this one. We are going to do the ghost pepper. Jonathan, we're gonna give it a really good dollop. We're gonna give it like a solid go. Like if we're doing this, we're doing this, right?
All right.
Oh
my hands are shaking.
yeah, I hate myself a little bit.
There's a lot on there, guy. I mean, I'm not even. You see it? I mean, if I showed you, it's spilling in my hands.
I went big. Okay. All right, go for it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, Jonathan. Why does your team hate me so much? Jonathan, do the post-rotate scripts have a standardized format like PS1, BAT, etc., or a template list? Oh, it's in my throat.
Yeah. Yeah, let me.
Go.
I've got nothing to drink. And this is getting hot. All right. Okay. So, I have the question. Do they have a standard format, right? A PS1, a BAT file?
Yep.
So, yeah, absolutely. You can. A lot of people already. Woo-wee. A lot of people are already writing scripts in PS1, PowerShell, BAT files, .sh files, Linux, all sorts of files. Whew. And yeah, those are standardized formats you can utilize. Whatever you're utilizing, whatever scripting language you're utilizing in your environment, you can utilize it. Do we have any current templates? Like, hey, here's a template you can use, and this script is going to do this for you. No, not currently. But so it's going to utilize the current scripts you have. I really like the thought and idea of throwing a bunch of really cool examples up there of what people could do. And we have some examples if you look at our documentation. But I think it'd be really nice to have a long list of some scripts available to people already templated out. It's a really good idea. Something to consider on our side, most definitely.
Okay, you go.
I am doing,
Jonathan.
I am dying. I didn't think I was gonna be able to finish that sentence.
I need to go. Mark, I'm gonna go drink the rest of this milk. Jonathan, we're gonna have to leave it there. Before you leave us, go real quick while it's still hot and spicy for you. What does somebody do if they want to jump in with Keeper Security? How do they get started?
Absolutely. I would highly recommend that you can either go to our page and go to our contact us form to reach out to us to find out more about our PAM solution, see how it fits in your environment. Or if you're taking notes, if you're taking notes, go ahead and just email over to sales@keepersecurity.com. One of our dedicated ISRs are going to reach out to you and schedule something in so you can check out our platform and discover it.
Well, Jonathan, I can honestly say this is one of the best, worst experiences I've had with you in a while. I appreciate you. I appreciate your team. Thank you for continuing to bring the fun and the info. And thanks for joining us today. It's been a time. It's been a time.
Thank you very much. And I would say I appreciate it, which I really do. But I have something to take care of.
Yeah, we gotta go. I'm gonna get that poll up. You go get some milk. I'll see you later.